Anthony Davis, where does he rank in the NBA? And what I mean by that is, has Anthony Davis, is he a top 5 player now? Because I know.
Next question. Before you, are we like this new season? We're adding the guys who are hurt in. Are we doing that?
Like,
or
are we considering everybody healthy in this discussion?
like we're walking in? All right, this is new season. The healthy guys are back. Steph and KD are back. Or are we just like no, dub them out the question based off last year? What are we doing?
You could do that. You can have KD and Steph.
I'm going to discuss it. Everybody healthy.
So we're gonna.
Discuss it,
I just want to make sure. All right,
healthy.
so all in agreement.
Because we know Anthony Davis got really disrespected. Some people didn't have. Some people had him at like 8, 7 spot. So is he a top 5 player? Everybody healthy this upcoming season that's happening.
I want to say this for the people who were surprised by AD. That clearly means you didn't watch basketball. He played like this in New Orleans. No, I don't think he's a top 5 player in the league.
I don't know if he's top 5, but he is definitely in the discussion. I'll tell you off the bat, top 3, and I don't think there's any question in my mind. LeBron, KD, Kawhi in no specific order. I think those 3 guys are the top 3, and then I think Giannis comes in right behind them because of their versatility. I think that wings are.
Did he just name Giannis before Steph Curry?
I
just got so mad.
Let me explain why. I think that versatility is one of the most important things in the league right now, and I think that those first 3 guys, and then Giannis is on the tail end of that discussion behind those 3 guys, in my mind, are 4 of the most versatile guys in the league. They do it all for you, and any team with them will be in the fight, will be in contention every year. And then I think that you have guys like Steph Curry, James Harden, obviously. Anthony Davis is in that Giannis discussion for me where, you know, he's kind of a Swiss Army knife, except he doesn't have the playmaking, in my opinion, that Giannis has.
Anthony Davis is better than Kawhi Leonard.
You lost me.
And he's better than an injured Kevin Durant coming off an Achilles. No doubt about it.
Don't even say nothing. I'm going next. I got this.
Anthony Davis is a top 5 player in the world, and I'll go as far as saying he's a top 3 player in the world.
Did you think?
You'll
wait. Before you continue, did you think of that before he went and made the playoffs this year?
He was close.
No. I didn't ask you that.
Close.
Did you think of that before he made the playoffs this year? Answer yes or no. Just yes or no.
It was close.
No. Answer yes or no. Did you think he was top 3 on the planet before he won the chip?
Top 3?
Yeah. No. It wasn't even close.
Yes. Leaning towards a yes. So you know what type of question you just asked me? You asked me the type of question that I would ask you if before Kawhi won a championship with Toronto, and I'm like, do you think Kawhi is now the best player in the world?
You mean the guy who led them and then the guy who was a sidekick with LeBron?
You had him win Finals MVP.
Who?
Davis.
Yeah, I thought he was going to win. I thought he was going to out-impact LeBron.
Yeah, even if you had him winning Finals MVP, at the end of the day, there was nobody as impactful on that Raptors team as LeBron was on this Lakers team.
Easily. That's not a question.
Without Kawhi,
the Raptors team had a lot of they made the East. They almost made the Eastern Conference Finals without Kawhi.
They also were down 0-2.
And the East got a lot better that next year.
Not really.
I think
Stop. You switch AD and Kawhi. Are they going to the finals? Be honest.
The Raptors?
Yes. Are they going to the finals?
Yes. You put Anthony Davis on the Raptors that they had this past year. They go to the finals.
No. I didn't ask you that.
They had virtually the same team. What are you talking about?
That AD that year, you put him in Kawhi's spot. They're going to the finals. They're going down 0-2 and they're beating the Bucks.
They don't go down 0-2. Anthony Davis wouldn't let that happen. He's
not
Kawhi. He's not a choker in Game 7. Kawhi choked. After Kawhi choked in Game 7, along with your boy Paul George, then Kawhi's not better than Anthony Davis.
That's ridiculous.
Look, people want to give.
He's ridiculous. The dude made the playoffs 3 times in his life, and he's talking about he's better than.
When in the Pelicans has he ever been put in a position to succeed and the players were actually healthy?
Whose fault is that?
What do you mean? It's his fault that the players got healthy.
Wait.
Jrue Holiday was
Speak your
injured.
Piece first. Speak your piece.
Jrue Holiday.
So who's your list?
First.
What's your list?
I got LeBron. Then I have AD.
At 2?
Yes. Anthony Davis is the second best player in the world. He's now entering his prime. So because he enters his prime,
we have to thrust him to 2?
Yes, because he's better than Kawhi.
Where do you have Luka?
Yeah, because then Luka should be at 3 if you're talking about just entering their prime.
I have LeBron at 1, AD at 2. I have Kawhi at 3. If KD comes back good, I'll have him at 4. And then I think the fifth spot is a toss-up between Steph, Giannis, and Harden.
So Luka plays amazing. He doesn't get the jump. Mind you, he was
What do you
the
mean?
best. He's the best.
Luka's 6 for me.
That's
good.
He's
What?
He's the best player on the
Luka's
team.
6.
He played amazing. He gets the little jump to 6. But
What do you mean?
jumps.
What?
AD jumps all the way to number 2 because he was a sidekick to LeBron.
Jump to 6. What are you talking about? Luka last year was not even a top 10 player. This year he made the jump to a top 10 player.
I don't.
Anthony Davis was a top 10 player in the world, and he's making the jump to 2. Yes.
That means he's surpassed elite player after elite player.
Is he better than Giannis?
He's better than Harden already? That's sure. He's better than Harden already.
His impact on defense does, especially when you need it the most. Anthony Davis, this is the type of player that Anthony Davis is. He's not a player like a Harden who could take mediocre talent and take him to the playoffs year after year, but he's a ceiling raiser.
Like Steph Curry.
I think that's a fair comparison.
Like Steph Curry.
Actually. I think that's a very fair comparison.
With Steph Curry in the championship team, he's
impact-wise.
Yeah,
AD is a ceiling raiser. And look, at these stats, he averaged 28 and 10 in the playoffs. His on-court playoff numbers, opponents' offensive rating throughout the playoffs was a 107. Without him on the floor, the opposing opponents had an offensive rating of 117.5. That's a 10.5-point jump when Anthony Davis is not on the court. That's how much of an impact he makes on defense. He's an elite defender. He can guard 1 through 5. He guarded Westbrook for a whole series against Houston.
The dude that can't shoot? That's pretty easy if you think about it.
Not really. You think guarding former MVP is easy? 5. Come on.
You think
he was guarding Jimmy Butler and locking him up.
The dude that can't shoot. Another guy that if you're 6'10",
it was locking him up.
If you're 6'10",
that's your boy. He would lock up Paul George too easily.
Wait.
And he would lock up Kawhi.
Wait,
no doubt about it.
That's irrelevant. I'm not even.
No doubt about it.
If you're 6'10", if I'm 6'10" and I have a 7'6" wingspan, and you can't shoot, it is extremely easy for me to stay back and wait for you to get into the paint because I'm bigger than you. I can easily guard you. You're talking about he can guard 1 through 5.
KD can easily guard those same players.
KD plays D like Anthony Davis.
But you said easily.
I'm talking about if I'm AD.
Well, if you're AD, you can do it because you're an elite player. You're an elite defensive player.
Giannis can do the same thing.
I don't know. He didn't want to guard. He didn't want to take on the challenge.
He's their best rim protector. That's their scheme. He stays back to help. He's the rim protector.
He didn't want to guard Jimmy Butler.
It wasn't
Anthony
that he
Davis
didn't want to guard him.
Jimmy Butler gave him. He was like 5.
It would have made no sense for him to guard him.
Why?
Because Chris Middleton is also an elite perimeter defender.
Elite, I wouldn't say Chris Middleton's elite.
He's a great defender.
He's a great defender, but
he's their perimeter defender. And if you take Giannis off of Bam inside the paint, who's guarding Bam then? They would have get up down low.
There's a reason why he wasn't guarding him. No, AD is not number 2 in the world.
Easily number 2.
I agree with your list. I have LeBron, Kevin Durant. He has to prove until he shows me he's not Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
Kevin Durant is 2. I don't even know why you just said that.
I'm basing Kevin Durant as I'm saying healthy.
He has to show us.
I'm saying this assuming he comes back as what he was because I think that's
the
what
cards are against him.
That's what I'm
injury
saying
is
for
serious.
Did you finish your list?
I don't know if I finished it. I gave my rank. It's so hard to rank them one by one, but I think that there is a group of guys. When I look at it, I think that Anthony Davis, and I had said this before they won the championship, I think that Anthony Davis is on the short list of players that can be the best player on a championship team. Personally.
I have a question to ask both of you.
Go ahead.
Well, you're not high on Davis anyway, so you have a huge bias.
That's not true. I was a fan of Anthony Davis
This is what I'm saying.
LA.
If we're looking at the year 2020, this past year that happened,
right?
Are you ranking Kawhi ahead of Anthony Davis for this season?
Regular season?
No, everything combined.
I'm taking it, but I'm not only taking this past regular season.
I think the year 2020, the top 2 players in the league were LeBron and AD.
That's ridiculous. I'm gonna tell you why that's ridiculous.
Who's better than AD
I'm gonna tell you why that's ridiculous.
Past regular season?
You just okay.
And playoffs.
Wait.
Including playoffs.
Regular season, Giannis was above and beyond better than AD.
Including playoffs.
Okay, look, listen,
not Giannis.
Listen. Giannis in the regular season was above and beyond Anthony Davis. In the playoffs, yes, AD played better than Giannis. So if you think about it, it's kind of you're talking about a guy who's gonna win back-to-back MVPs or who just won Defensive Player of the Year. How are you gonna just easily throw AD over him? He just won 2 of the most important awards in the NBA.
And even though
if AD played with Mike Budenholzer, he'd be MVP too.
Even though
doubt it.
I disagree. Even though their team did not perform well in the playoffs. I think that Giannis played well enough for them to win, but at the end of the day, it's like when people criticize LeBron for passing out to Danny Green for the win and he missed the shot. At the end of the day, Giannis was getting guys great looks, and his supporting cast played very poorly in the playoffs.
Well, they won a game against Miami without him.
Yes, one game.
Your boy Middleton played horrible.
When you look at the off court numbers when Giannis is not on the court and the Bucks play just without Giannis, it's not that much of a drop off.
The Bucks
in the playoffs,
and they look a little bit better.
The Bucks didn't start winning 60 games until Giannis became an MVP. The Bucks didn't start becoming a top team in the East until Giannis started winning the MVP.
Oh, the Bucks didn't start winning 60 games until Mike Budenholzer got there. They didn't start winning 60 games until Brook Lopez got there. They didn't start winning 60 games until George Hill got there.
Hill?
So it was just Giannis. It was just Giannis because with Giannis, they were getting out in the first round and they were the 8th seed too.
He wasn't an MVP though.
But he got an MVP when Budenholzer came there and just the whole
but
offense.
when he made the jump, you talking about George Hill? Bro, you just brought up George Hill.
Budenholzer was actually responsible for the Atlanta Hawks. Mediocre talent-wise, winning 60 games.
That was not mediocre talent.
It was.
It was a great
They
team.
were the most overrated 60-win team ever.
It was overrated talent.
Very overrated.
The best player was like
I could agree with you that. Yeah, they were. We knew they weren't going to win anything.
But 1 through 5, they were
good.
Damari Carroll and Kyle Korver.
Damari Carroll wasn't starting.
Yes, he was. I promise you he was. Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver,
okay,
Damari
you're
Carroll.
talking after Josh Smith.
Yeah, we're not talking about that team. Not talking about that team.
They won 60 wins with Mike Budenholzer.
I think Florida made the All-Star game.
Exactly.
It was a weak East. That's terrible.
But I'm just saying, I think for the year 2020, regular season playoffs included, LeBron won, AD 2. You look at Anthony Davis' advanced numbers, they're crazy. And if you saw his impact on defense, they don't win that without Anthony Davis. I love LeBron. I know LeBron is the best player there, but they don't win that without Anthony Davis.
Obviously,
that's why. Okay, that's why
no team in the NBA
they wouldn't win.
They
wouldn't win if they had Giannis there.
That's why. But that's why I asked you.
If you switch Giannis and Davis, they don't win.
Wait.
But that's why he can't shoot. Davis was shooting 40% from
But Joel,
three.
that's why I asked you: are we plugging in the guys who got hurt? Because you keep saying 2020. There were guys who didn't play a whole season.
I don't think Steph is better than AD.
That's ridiculous.
And I don't think an injured KD is better than AD either.
But we're not talking about that. We literally said before the discussion started.
No, I know, but I don't think KD coming back off that injury is going to be better than Anthony Davis.
That's not what we're discussing.
You're confused. You're confusing us.
No.
That's why I asked you, what are we talking about? One season or a totality of a couple seasons?
We are not discussing the top 10 players from last season.
No, we're discussing who's going to be the top 10 players this upcoming year.
Based on everything that we've seen before. And
which going to use one season?
Healthy.
Anthony Davis has been a great player.
Kawhi Leonard's body.
How long has he? Okay. So if you're gonna say, how long has AD been better than Kevin Durant and Steph Curry in your mind?
I don't think he has. But this is where it's starting to turn because he's
the two
going
guys.
into their prime.
So it's starting to turn when the two guys didn't play and he plays, and that's when you decide, oh, he's better than the two guys that didn't play.
I saw the games that Steph Curry played early in the year. He was horrible. They have a negative record with Curry?
Did you see their team?
Oh my God.
They had a negative.
Did you see their team?
I could argue that team was better than the team Anthony Davis had with the Pelicans.
Who on that team was better than Drew Holiday besides Steph Curry?
Drew Holiday was injured a lot.
Who on that team was better than Drew Holiday? No, seriously.
Draymond Green.
What?
Draymond Green. He's more of an impact than Drew Holiday. He definitely is.
That's crazy.
He is. Draymond Green doesn't make more of an impact than Drew Holiday
on the daily.
You're telling me Draymond Green doesn't make more of an impact than Drew
Holiday? In 2020? You said 2020.
Well, aren't you the same?
Aren't you guys used Steph's 4 games?
Aren't you guys the same guys that are saying that we're counting in all their body of work too?
But you just used Steph's 2020 season, bro. He played like 5 games. You just said that.
He was bad in them. What can I say?
Oh my God.
That's what he was. Because he was never a guy that could lead a team to a playoffs if all the guys aren't that good. James Harden could do it. I don't know about Steph. He never proved it.
Neither has AD.
What?
He has actually.
He just played with LeBron.
Well, with the Pelicans, he made the playoffs, and every single time he made the playoffs with the Pelicans, he put up crazy great numbers.
And did they win a game?
They faced Golden State.
Didn't Steph beat him?
No, yeah, but didn't they sweep the Blazers when they weren't favorites?
They did sweep the Blazers.
Yes, they also had a much better team that season.
Do you forget Drew Holiday's impact that year, or that just
had
Rondo?
No, I do know.
Okay. What about Rondo?
Holiday. They were built to beat the Blazers that year. They had 2 elite perimeter defenders.
Weren't favorited though.
They actually, what were they, like 4th seed? Boogie went down, then they dropped to 6th seed because Boogie got hurt. Nah, I don't think AD.
I
is
just think
number
that
two.
bringing it back to the original discussion, I feel like you are not using the correct criteria to make this decision. I think that you are focusing way too much on last year and not taking into account that Kawhi Leonard has been doing this without the supporting cast that Anthony Davis had this year in LeBron James for multiple years prior.
What do you mean? The Spurs one of the most talented teams when Kawhi was there.
Anthony Davis never carried a team like Kawhi Leonard carried the Raptors
Kawhi never
last year.
carried a team either. Every single team Kawhi's been on, he's had a lot of talent.
He
in the
carried
finals,
the Raptors
in the
last year.
finals, I think 5 or 6 Raptors scored in double
Yes,
digits
the finals.
in
The finals.
Can you
they
talk
would not
about-
have been there without and Kawhi was injured.
They wouldn't have been there without Marc Gasol's defense on Joel Embiid in that Sixers series.
They barely won with that. That all that you just said, and they won off a jump shot that Kawhi hit.
Oh, they wanted one of the luckiest shots in
That
history.
Kawhi hit.
But
I don't even think Pascal would even got it up.
So it was that close of a series. So without Marc Gasol's defense, they'd lose.
Yes,
without nobody to guard
and you're
Embiid, they'd
picking out
lose.
one impact that Marc Gasol had. Kawhi Leonard was that team.
He wasn't that team. That team was a collective effort, and they showed it because they were the second seed or the third seed in the East this year.
And they lost.
They showed
They
it.
lost in the second round.
In Game 7, in a game that could have gone either way.
So what you're telling me is the guy who just played with LeBron can lead a team, even though he just was a sidekick to LeBron, can lead the Raptors team to the finals. But the guy who's been the leader of multiple championship teams can't.
Multiple, he's won 2. And the one with the Spurs, he wasn't the leader on that team. They had Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, Ginobili. He didn't even average the most points in that series.
At that point in their careers,
Kawhi was not the leader.
Kawhi was the best player.
Kawhi was
on that
not
team.
the leader of that team. He was still a young pup on that team.
Let me not say leader of that team. Pardon me. I'm talking about after those years when they were making the WCF with Kawhi as the leader of the team, when he officially took the reins. I'm talking about when they lost to OKC in 6.
You said multiple championships.
That's why I said when they lost to OKC in 6, and then after that when they played the Warriors. You telling me AD is going to do that?
Why
a
not?
big man.
Wait, if he had the same teams that Kawhi had, definitely, yeah.
He also doesn't have the versatility that Kawhi has, in my opinion. I think that people that can handle the ball are so much more valuable in the NBA these days. And Anthony Davis can't do that on the perimeter. He can't create his own shot on the perimeter. And I think that takes him down a peg personally for me.
If we're talking based off just the 2020 season, I agree with you. AD played like a top 3 player. If we're talking about who's walking in, but based off a couple seasons, because using just one season is unfair, then no, I would still have LeBron, KD, I have Kawhi over him, I still have Harden, I still have Steph, Giannis. Those are the 6 guys I would have him. You could debate him and Giannis, but I would put Giannis over him just off the simple fact he's going to be a 2-time MVP, and he just won Defensive Player of the Year, something that everybody keeps loving to praise AD for, but he has yet to win one. So those are the 6 guys I would have over him. But based off the 2020 season, I agree with you. He was a top 3 player.
Those are the 6 guys that I think you would universally hear the argument about above him. Like I think,
and Luka's creeping,
and I think he's in that. Like I think that 7-person range is almost indisputable. Like I don't know if there's another guy in the league that you could argue is in that category. Luka's getting there.
Luka's creeping.
I mean, you will find a million different ways to order those 7 guys, but I think that he has. I think it's fair to say that he is now firmly entrenched in that territory of those 7 best
now
players
his spot
in the NBA.
is solidified in that spot. Like now he's definitely, you can argue 7, you can argue 6, you can argue 5. I don't think you can argue 3 yet, but
I agree with
you
that.
can argue
I
5,
agree.
6,
I
7.
think so.
I don't think after one playoff run you can argue all the way up to 2. That's insane to me. He has
We'll
one.
see.
I think you got to wait till next year. He does it again with LeBron, then we can
The
definitely
Lakers
see it.
are repeat.
And is LeBron going to take a step back? We don't know what's coming out of LeBron. I mean, a lot of people thought he was going to take a step back this year, and he played one of the better seasons that we've seen out of him.
The Lakers will repeat and win the championship next year.
It's possible.
It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm 90% certain of that.
Please don't pick the Rockets again. I'm sick of that pick.
Because, I mean, realistically, like when you look at the league, how much is going to change from a contender standpoint? I think you're going to see a lot of the same teams contending. The only teams that might get a real big shakeup are the Rockets and the Sixers, and I don't think that there's anything that they can do that would change them, mightily from last year what they were.
I think the Lakers have a pretty good shakeup.
And the Nets, of course. But even I, as a Net fan, have big
The
question
Lakers,
marks about the Nets.
damn near their whole team is walking into free agency right now. So
I think they get a major shakeup. I wouldn't be surprised if they bring a CP3.